And it carries on and on and on, gay, gay, gay. I'm getting more and more shocks, and it took me a long time to know what they're talking about. They're talking about sodomites. Okay? But now they use the word gay, but it was an innocent word. Now I can't say Mr. Mark and John are very gay people. I can't. You're going to take it as an offense, and it is. It should rightly be taken as an offense. So in its origin, the word is good, beautiful, gay, comrade. But in time, it acquires other connotations. And once it happens, we say we drop it. From our normal usage, we drop it. As a technical term for sodomites, it's still okay, it's okay, but not for our relationship. You find Mr. Deedat, so happy. You find what? A happy and a joyous fellow. But you won't use that other word. So, same thing to the word father. Beautiful term, beautiful term. But now, it has been contaminated with the idea of the only begotten Son. See, Jesus is the only begotten Son. And in your catechism, I don't know whether the Baptists have a different catechism to that of the Anglican Church, the Methodist Church, the Lutheran Church. I don't know whether you have a different catechism. But in the Anglican catechism, it says, Jesus is the only begotten Son. Begotten, not made. You remember reading that?
Yeah, John 3:16.
No.
Oh, but in the catechism, we don't have those kind of teaching classes.
But now, based on John 3:16, they say Jesus is the only begotten Son. Begotten, not made.
Yeah.
Now, when you said begotten, well, look, you say we can explain or we say understand. I say, is this what you mean? Because begetting is an animal act. It belongs to the lower animal functions of sex. Are you attributing such a quality to God, Mark? You say, no, I don't mean that. You see, you'll try and explain to me what you understand or what it means. Right? But I says, you see, Mark, you are creating a problem with me now. See, with my people now. We have an understanding when you say begotten, begetting in English is an animal act. It belongs to the lower animal functions of sex. Can you attribute such a quality to God? You say, no, I'm not saying that. We say, whatever explanation. But now, when you say begotten, not made, now you are going out of your way to emphasize what it actually means. Begotten, not made. John, my son. Suppose he visits me a number of times, he creates a respect for me, although we are at variance. But still he respects me, I respect him. And I say, John, my son, my son. And if you know our family is better, I visit him at home one day with my friends, and I'm asking his mom and dad, where's John, my son? He said, no, he's just gone out to be back just now. And John returns. And we Eastern people, like Arabs and Jews, we embrace one another, and we kiss one another. Right? We sit down to chat. My companion, who doesn't know our relationship, is asking me, is he really your son? I said, no. This young man, he loves me like a father, like an old uncle, like a grandfather. He calls me dad, grandpa, whatever he calls me, and I call him a son. No problem, John, no problem. I know John won't object, his mom and dad won't object. But instead I said, yes, he's my begotten son. Now if he understands English, he knows what it means. I said, yes, he's my begotten son. What am I saying? He said, uncle, what did you say? I said, no, I don't mean that. He's asking, what are you trying to imply? What are you insinuating? I said, no, John, I don't mean that. What you're thinking of what it means. I'm not, but I'm still telling my companion, doesn't he look like my Yusuf at home? What am I saying? I'm saying he's a bastard. It's in a most beautiful language. You are my only begotten son. He's begotten by me. Term sounds so endearing. Sounds so nice, But actually I'm swearing you in the most diplomatic manner that you are a bastard. And again I'm repeating, he looks like my son means I had something to do with his mother. He's a bastard. Can you see? So it says now, words now, they over a period used in a certain manner, it creates other meanings, connotations. So this connotation now, the Muslim objects very strongly. He says, no, don't talk like that. You see, in our worldly affairs, we are more circumspect, respectful in what we say. Among my people, I won't, when I visit you home, see your wife, I say, hello, my dear, darling, sweetheart. We don't do that. Maybe you people, the Western nations, you get used to that. You call somebody, your friend's wife, hello, my dear, my darling, my sweetheart. You say, you pinch her. I said, we don't do that. You see, we are still particular with the terms that you use. So when we are so circumspect with regards to the terminology we use between ourselves, we ought to be. Don't call people by anyhow the way you like. You address the people with respect, Mr. Deedat, or uncle, or whatever it is. You don't just come along and treat a guy, roughshod as you like. The old guys used to do. You coolie, you this and that. You don't do that. Maybe what you have in your heart, that's your business between you and God Almighty. But between our own relationship, it says no. You don't use certain terms and expressions. So this term, father, is removed from the religious terminology of Islam. It's never used because it's contaminated. Otherwise, to me, the loving Father in heaven, though you say that there are people where as soon as you say father, the fathers have been molesting their own children.
Yeah.
Their old 3-year-olds and 5-year-old daughters and their sons. I've been reading fathers sodomizing their own sons, not stepsons, own sons. And regular churchgoer at that. In the community, the guy is a very, very good fellow. He's a very religious guy. He never missed his church services. But the guy is sodomizing his 3-year-old and 5-year-old children. So you talk to him about the loving father. He's got some other pictures. Father. So, how the mind reacts. So, fortunately, I think for the Muslims, this term is eschewed. We don't use the term. But to me, by itself, I say nothing wrong with the term, except that it is now contaminated.
Okay.
Yes, Mark.
Thank you. That was a good answer. I have another question.
Yes, Mark, please.
I know that, in fact, Craig, when we were here, I hope you get a chance to view that video.
I will. I
know you're busy. But Craig was asking, I think a young man was Mohamed that was with us.
Mohamed Saeed, yes, we have a young man.
Yes, very nice young man.
Nice young man.
And then the other African chap we talked to on the second.
Omar, I think. Omar, Adam, they were.
Yeah, Adam.
Omar and one the shorter chap.
The one that's doing the translation.
Omar. That's
okay.
Omar. Yes.
Well, anyway, Craig and Warren, the photographer, each bought a copy of the translated Quran.
Yes.
One of the questions we had, I don't think was sufficiently answered. Is it not true that among many Muslims, they think the Quran should not be translated in English? Is that right?
No. What it is, that it can't be translated.
Yeah.
Any religious literature for that matter, spiritual matters, you can't really translate.
Yeah.
You are trying to give an approximate meaning.
Yeah, right.
Approximate meaning. So this translation, I think the man says, this is the meaning of the glorious Quran. Right? Actually, it's what we said, translation. But the guy, he won't say this is translation because the language is so rich. Hebrew or Greek, suppose the thing was said in the original language. You can't actually translate that because in the original language what it means, like the Englishman speaking about his beautiful fiancée, he says she's a peach. She is a peach. I know what he means is that she is a picture of perfection. In looks, in behavior, she is perfect. That's what he's trying to say. Your fiancée, she's a peach. Your wife, she's a peach. Nothing wrong with it. But now if I translate that into Zulu, so Ungake, I'm a peaches. His wife is a peaches. Or in Afrikaans, I don't know, is a pescas. So damn it, all these English people, they have peaches for wives, 3 shillings a dozen. Is that the worth of his wife? No. See, I have to understand that in the language that the person is speaking, what is he trying to tell me? Like Jesus Christ is talking in the Jewish phrases and terminology. He says, let the dead bury the dead. So the problem arises. How can dead people bury dead people? Right? So if you didn't have an understanding, it's a problem and it will remain there. Impractical. How can dead people come out of the grave if your father died? I said, look, let the dead bury the dead. That's what he told that young man, when he came to him and says, now look, what must I do? So he told him, keep the laws and the commandments. He said, look, I have kept it from my childhood. Then he says, look, he tried to be too clever. So he said, look, sell everything you have got and follow me. Right? You have done everything, now you want something higher than that. The only thing is now dedicate yourself full time for the work of God. So because of his much speaking